1. Hey guys, welcome to Chris Mack. For today's video, I have a supersized Ram 1500 Limited EcoDiesel. I'm going to show you around this vehicle, then we're going to take for a drive. As always, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn notifications. Let's get into this video, shall we? Looking on the outside of the 2022 Ram 1500 Limited, this is your key fob right here. You do have a lock. This is how you open your tailgate, and you can also control the air suspension right there from the key fob with remote start, as well as a panic button. I do like the key fob. We do have Ram 1500 or Ram Limited right there inscripted on the back of the key fob, depending on which trim you do get. But I do love the kind of tactile feel that it has in your hands, and it's a nice touch. But looking at the outside of this Ram 1500, you can see this one is priced at about $80,000. This, of course, is a limited grade 1500, equipped with the EcoDiesel for $3,200. It is dressed in a billet silver exterior color for $200, and of course has the blacked out package. Now, I will put all of the packaging and options at the bottom of the screen in the description section. But you can see, looking up front, of course, had the blacked out grille, the Ram badging. Of course, this does have the 360 camera right there. Tow hooks up front with full LED lighting. You can see right here I have the turn signal on this side. So the turn signal up top with the daytime running light down there when you do have the signal on. Of course, you do get a little bit more of an aggressive hood right there. So you got 1500 EcoDiesel right there inscripted on the hood. Some more air intakes right there, which are pretty cool. Do love the aggressive design of this. And mind you, this is not a Rebel trim, which is pretty cool. But looking at the wheels, you do have 22-inch rims right there, 285 with all-season tires. Keyless entry for the front door handles. Turn signals right there in the mirrors with blind spot assist and all your drive assistance. You can see right here, this is your window sticker. Pause the video right there to see the window sticker. $80,000. Of course, it does have power running boards right there, which I'll show you guys when we hop into the interior. Gas tank is on the driver's side. Of course, it does take diesel fuel, and it has 26 gallons. You can get an optional 33-gallon tank if you want a little bit more range, and you can really push over 600 miles in a single tank. Now, speaking of the bed, this does have the 5'7" bed. For $300 extra, you can get a 6'4" bed, which sounds like a pretty good deal to me if you need a little bit more payload. Coming around to the back, you can see it does have the standard Ram design, which they've been using for a couple years. Full LED lighting right there, and that's your sensor for the blind spot monitor. And of course, you do have dual exhaust with parking sensors in the rear. And of course, have your trailer connector cables right there. This is ready to tow about 12,000 pounds, and you will be able to get about 2,300 pounds in the bed, or as much as a Mazda Miata. I do like the damp cargo bed right there, door. Of course, you do have a tonneau cover right there, so you'll pull the tabs and it'll basically open up. Let me show you guys under the hood. Look at that Ram logo in the back. This is cool right there, like that. And of course, the handle right there for the rear tailgate or trunk or bed is right there with the backup camera release right there. I'll show you guys under the hood of the Ram 1500. There we go. So right there in the center. Now, the Ram 1500, of course, does come with plenty of engine options for this generation. You'll, of course, have your 3.6 Pentastar for the commercial uses. You have the 5.7 HEMI. You got the EcoDiesel, and of course, you have the Ram TRX with the Hellcat powered engine. But this is the EcoDiesel, 3.0 liter in displacement, turbo diesel, of course. Produces 240 horses, 480 pound-foot of torque, 21 in the city, 29 on the highway, and 24 combined. Vehicle weight is about 5,700 pounds. Small typo, I meant to say 260, but let's go ahead and check out the interior of the Ram 1500. This is going to be a big review for a big vehicle. Hopping into the back seats, just like with the F-150, you do have plenty of room. So I have literally about nearly a foot of legroom with about 2-3 inches of headroom. Looking back here, of course, with the luxury level 1 package, you do get cooled rear seats to go in addition with the heated rear seats. Got air vents right there with a 115 volt charging. Some storage right there. Do love the stitching right there. The Rams always do a good job with the stitching inside of the vehicle, in the cabin. So you got like the nice little stitching right there. And even looking at the seat backs right here, you can't see the stitching. Got like kind of Texas theme stuff right there. Let me cover that so you see the little Texas theme right there. And this is the third seat right here. No cup holders right there, as the cup holders are right here in the front of the center console. So if you're just sitting here, you can just grab a drink, boom, like that. They have storage right there. Of course, look at the speakers. Of course, is the 19-speaker Harman Kardon sound system. You got speakers even right here up top on the headrest. So right there, right behind your ears, where all the listening is happening. You do have LED illumination and coat racks up top as well. Here's a quick look to the front cabin. You of course can get a panoramic sunroof option as well. They separate charge. I will put the pricing right here. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out the driver's seat of the 1500 Ram, where all the action happens. Of course, I have the power running board right there. Now, while we have the door open, let me show you guys the seat functions. Now, it is the kind of typical Stellantis functions right there for your back support, bottom support, as well as your forward lumbar support right there. The speaker system looks so nice and awesome. You of course have power folding mirrors with automatic windows for the front doors and 2-person memory. You hit the button in the middle to set that. I mean, look at that trim right there. You got like wood right here, and then you got the little nice leather stitching right there. Very nice, and it just looks exquisite. All this is nice and stitched up top, where all of your arm will be resting. And then of course down here is very durable with 2 integrated cup holders right there. Gas brake pedal. Of course you do have your parking brake. And of course this does have power pedals. So you move it forward and backwards. You see right there. Light controls on this side for your cluster illumination as well as interior lighting. You do have a tilt telescoping manual steering wheel. And look at the seats right here. This is oh so comfortable. But hopping into the seats of the 1500, or the cockpit as it's known as. So looking at the steering wheel of the Ram 1500, you can see they have a 3-spoke steering wheel, which is of course heated when you do go into the climate section of the infotainment screen, which I will show you guys in a little bit. Looking behind it, you do, instead of having paddle shifters, you have your controls right there to control the radio, so you can toggle through the different pages by using the button right there on the back. And then on this side controls your volume right there. Turn that down so we don't get demonetized, but you can see it does appear right here in the central cluster. Trailer control right there. Trip for range and gas mileage. Adaptive cruise control. So you got your tire pressures, vehicle idle, battery, and all of the basic technical features that you want to know. You can of course put your speed right there. You do have your settings right there, so if you hold OK, you can customize the head-up display and adjust the height, as well as the content settings and so on. I'll show you guys that in a minute. And of course, you do have other different settings right there. Telematics right here on this side for your hang-up, accept calls, reject, as well as voice command. This is how you control your adaptive cruise control systems, which we will try on the road. And of course, you do have your gear shifting right there and gear limiting when you are towing. I just do love the nice wood finish around the steering wheel. So much high quality. It has a nice feel in your hands though when you're driving. You can see up top, you do have a head-up display, which is clear and crisp. You got your speed, radio information, as well as the speed limit in the area. You can of course customize that. Wiper controls on this side. You got push button start. This side control your 4-wheel drive setup right there. So you got your 4-wheel drive auto, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive low and high. And then you do have the rotary gear shifter, so you put that once. Pull up your reverse. So you got your surround view camera right there. You can also adjust the different angles. And of course, you got under the mirrors right there, so it'll show up under the mirrors on each side. And of course, when you do have an auxiliary trailer connector, it will show up on the trailer as well. But we'll leave it on the surround view camera system. pull over to drive. You got neutral right there in the middle, and then just put back for park. Up top, you can see you do have a Harman sound system right there with a little bit of storage. But looking at the Uconnect 5 system, which is the biggest change for the Ram 1500 of this generation, now you do have flank buttons for physical buttons right there on this side for your climb controls. So you got hard touch buttons on each side, volume control, tune knob, mute button, as well as a screen off function right there. So you hit that, and just touch it to turn the screen right back on. Trailer connector function right there. This is how you can toggle your air suspension. It is 4-corner, of course. And you do have 4 different modes. Traction control with a tow haul, parking sensors, as well as parking sensors in the front as well. I do like how they have 2 separate parking sensors, and just the toggles and all that just feels so high quality and nice. You can see right there you do have 4 different modes for the air suspension right there. You of course have your hazard right there with lane keeping assist function right there. Park sense right there for automatic parking. And then looking right here at the infotainment screen, you are greeted by your home button right there, which does show up a mix of navigation as well as radio functions. So if you go right there in the navigation, we will try a navigation test. This thing is just so fast, man. I gotta tell you, Stellantis did a good job integrating this new Uconnect 5 from the previous systems, which are a lot more slow and laggy. This thing is just crazy. It's like an iPad on steroids. It's very quick and responsive. Going back to home right there, you of course do have your media functions. So we're gonna try a quick audio test to see how good it is. You have 2 USB-C ports as well as a USB port right there in the center console.
You will arrive at your destination at 10:39 a.m.
You can see the Uconnect is going off right now. But plugging up the iPhone, you can see phone integration is pretty easy to use. You see right there, my whole phone came up right there, all the different apps and so on. Enable CarPlay. And let's go ahead and try a quick audio test to see how good the sound system is.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big...
As you can see, the 19-speaker Harman sound system is very clear and crisp. And I do like the integration right there. So of course you can use 2 USB-C ports as well as a USB-A port. You got 2 of those. So you can basically use any feature that you guys so desire to connect to the Ram. And of course you do have cords right there in the back seat. So nobody's really lacking for charging ports in these type of vehicles. Looking right here under comfort, this is your climb controls. And of course I do like that they actually integrated physical buttons on the outside. And you do of course have your heating and cooling of the seats as well as the heating steering wheel function right there inside of the infotainment display right there. So you got 3 stages right there for ventilated and heated seats. Do wish it did have massage seats. That was one thing that I do wish Ram actually did integrate. But maybe from like the Grand Wagoneer or the Grand Cherokee. We already discovered the navigation right there. En route. Apple CarPlay, you do have your vehicle settings right there so you can control the display. So you have, the different themes right there. So you have a dark theme, automatic for daytime and nighttime, display brightness, and so on. You can also put up a beep right there with the touchscreen, your different profiles right there, so you can select different themes. Right there, you do have your driver assistance for the lane sense. Of course, parking sensors front and rear, as well as the blind spot assist, as well as for the trailer as well, which does come with blind spot assist, power steps, hill descent, as well as tire fill assist. Clock settings right there, your phone connectivity for Bluetooth. You do have your voice commands right there, trailer functions, camera right there, wiper controls, and you do have your lights right there, so you do have adaptive front lights. brakes, door locks for your keyless entry system, seats and comfort right there, which will actually turn on the heated or cool seats depending on the weather, as well as the heated steering wheel. Suspension controls right there. Audio settings, you can turn up the bass if you want a little bit more sound. So yeah, it's basically all of the different settings right there. You can of course control the auto dimming rearview mirror, steps, as well as the cameras. These are of course your shortcut buttons right there. And you can of course pull up the camera settings right there. Pulling that down, of course, you do have your telematics for your radio. Of course, you can put up your temperature, Hey Alexa, as well as Wi-Fi hotspot and device manager right there. All built-in apps right there, which are easy to use. Of course, toggle through all those right there. Looking right here, you do have a wireless phone charger. We will try that out. Boom, there we go. You see my phone's charging. And of course, I do like how they integrate the little holder right there. So it's not really like going all over the place. It's really like firm and held in. Of course, you do have a second one right there for your passenger as well. And of course, 2 Texas size cup holders for all the Americans that will be buying these. Cup holders are pretty good size and I have no complaints with that. Some more storage right there. And looking in this big center console, you can see you do have plenty of storage with illumination down there. You do have a little mini RAM. You can put stuff down there if you want to hold something down. And you got like different measurements and stuff on the back of that. And you do have a separate storage right there with the USB-A port. And then of course, I'll show you guys how to control the auto dimming rearview mirror and the infotainment screen with garage door opener. And you of course have the camera right there in the back, so you can't see all the way behind you, which I do like for a vehicle this big, which is perfect. You got your mirror right here. Do wish it was LED illumination, small gripe, but this is a pretty good size. Covers all the way. Of course, you do have your garage door opening controls right there. LED illumination right there. You can of course turn on the lights as well as open the tailgate from that button up there. SOS telematics, as well as opening the rear window in the back. So you just use that button right there. But yeah, so that's the Ram 1500. Let's go ahead and take for a drive and see how she does. And hit the road in the Ram 1500 EcoDiesel. I can't see even driving around town. You get a little bit more of that kind of dieselish noise, which I do like. I just had to get a little bit used to it. So much torque. But so yeah, first off, let's talk about the visibility out the front, rear, and sides. And I have to say though that it is pretty good. I can see clearly out the side view mirrors. They're nice, wide, and they go out on the side of the vehicle. And even out the back with the auto dimming rearview mirror, you can see out fine. Now, if you need some more visibility, you can of course put on the rearview camera mirror. Now, of course, I did make a slight typo when I was under the hood where I said, there we go, you see the automatic emergency braking, but I made a small typo when I did say it had about 280 horses. It's 260 to clarify. The V8 has about 370-ish horsepower, but the torque of this engine is really where it's at. Now, around town driving, the 8-speed automatic is very smooth shifting. Hearing definitely a little bit of that kind of diesel noise. As I said before, I kind of like. It makes it feel more truckish. And of course, you got like a manual shifter mover. But yeah, the 8-speed automatic is very smooth shifting, and I honestly have no problem with it. Works just fine, and very smooth shifts. There's no hiccups. Of course, you do have all your different driver assistance, your adaptive cruise control systems. We will try that out on the highway. That rearview camera mirror thing is just awesome. yep, so far around the city driving, the Ram 1500 is pretty good. And I really have no complaints though with the 1500 so far. And the turning radius actually feels so nice. Now, stated in the Walkaround, you can get a 6'4" bed if you need a little bit more capabilities in the back. Now, this is, of course, rated to tow about 12,000 pounds. And you can basically put a Mazda Miata in the bed of this 1500. It took a lot not to say tailgate or trunk. But, so yeah, so you can actually put a Mazda Miata weight-wise in the back, in the bed, which is a lot of cargo. that diesel noise. This is actually the first diesel I'm reviewing, so it's just an eye-opening experience for me. Just wow. I have to say though too, I like the braking on this. You would think for like the weight, it would feel like, yeah, let's try it. Yeah. So you think for the weight, it'll feel a little bit more like handicap because, you know, you got about 5,700 pounds you're pushing around. You would think that the brakes wouldn't feel good, but I'm happy to say that the brakes feel nice. They feel strong and responsive, which I do like. Let's go ahead and hit the back road and see how the 1500 does. All right, let's go. V6 Challenger. Wow. You can really feel that torque though. It just pushes you along. £480 of it. You really feel it too. But we are going to try a quick acceleration run. So we'll turn off traction, we'll come to a stop. Do a slight brake torque. See how good it is. Rev it up a little. Wow. Now I have to say though, right off the bat, 0 to 60 is about 7.5 seconds, and honestly, with that kind of brake torquing, you can really feel like a little bit more acceleration. It feels about 7 seconds if I'm really being honest in the real world. But the main thing I'm really feeling is that torque though. This thing's a torque monster. And that rear view camera mirror is cool. But yeah, so this thing is really a torque monster, and just the acceleration and everything, definitely more than enough. Now, as we go over some rough stuff in the road, you can feel that the air suspension does a good job of riding over the bumps and imperfections. Just want to try one more acceleration to see. Brake torque it. You guys can see 60 miles an hour happens really like 7 seconds. This thing is just more than enough power, like on a daily basis. Now, of course, the 5.7 does get a quicker 0 to 60. But I have to say though, so far I do like this EcoDiesel, and especially, whoa. Mind you, gas V8 trucks are getting like in the teens at best as far as MPG goes. This thing is in the 20s. It's 24 miles per gallon combined. And that diesel noise. But so yeah, this gets 24 miles per gallon combined, and that's a big improvement when you actually put that on paper. Now, of course, you guys know I did drive the Ford F-150 earlier this year. And, of course, I can kind of compare and contrast. But so far, I do like the cabin noise of this is definitely a little bit more on the refined side. But I do wish that it did have the like massaging seats. That's something I do wish it did have. And a power tilt telescoping steering wheel. I mean, for $80,000, that's something that I do wish it did have. But so far, that's really the only complaint that I do have. And I don't know, maybe a digital display. But if you're definitely like a pickup truck guy, I do like the kind of retro gauges right there. Very old school, and you know it's going to be timeless design if you own this truck for 15, 20 plus years from now. Now, speaking of towing, what can you really tow with this? That's probably the main question. Now, I had to really think about this for a day or two before, I did the review and stuff. And I was thinking maybe like, let's say you're moving, for example, you have one of them kind of tiny U-Haul trailers. You connect that in the back, and then you can put some of your stuff in the bed in the back. And I mean, you can basically move a good amount of stuff. 12,000 pounds plus 2,300. That's like 14,000 pounds. That air suspension though, with all its different modes, it just rides over the bumps very nicely. It's very smooth. Please don't tell me I'm a truck guy. I like trucks though, I'm not gonna lie. It's like the perfect winter solution right here. These things are getting a little bit more colder. So let's go ahead and hit the highway and see how the Ram 1500 does, shall we? This hood just looks so aggressive though. You got like the kind of hood bulge right there. Oh, I was like, what's that? That's the air suspension going down. So as we get a little bit at higher speeds, if we have like in the highest setting, it will actually lower down to be more aerodynamic and of course to be more stable at higher speeds. One thing to point out as well is that you do have a second storage compartment right here. So you pull that back. You see my phone actually fell down there. There's another 115 volt charger down there. But I don't know if you guys can see that head-up display though right here, and we're getting a little shades. I know it's a little sunny, but you of course got your lane information, and it's actually showing you the road that you're merging onto or turning onto, which is pretty cool. And I do like that secondary mirror. Really helps you like see around you. You don't really have to like look or crank your neck like you see in my other videos. That mirror is nice and far away, so you can really see. But I'm throwing on the adaptive cruise control setting right there. So we're gonna set it for like 75. So you got your different following distances right there. You can go up to 4 or all the way down to 1 following distance. So right now, the set is like 3 following distances since there's not that much traffic. But you hear the ride noise at highway speeds is just very smooth and refined. Now you would think though with the 22-inch rims that the ride will be a little bit more like bouncy and like unsettled. But I have to say though, thanks to the air suspension combination with these bigger wheels, it really rides smooth and refined. And even with the adaptive cruise control system on right there, you can't see them. It's actually a little Ram right there in front of you, which is cool. You can see right there, it is slowing down a little bit since I have it at 3 following distances. But let's say we do 2. Speed up a little bit and boom. Yeah, let's turn that off. Now it's amazing though. I mean, we passed this Mercedes GLE. how much bigger this thing just feels on the road. It's like way bigger, and that's like a mid-sized luxury SUV. So what is my takeaway or the conclusion of this video? What do I think about the Ram 1500? Now, so far, I do like the vehicle. It is very smooth. It's refined. I do like the sound system, and the material quality inside of this vehicle is just nice. They actually put a lot of attention to detail. Oh, look, it's a Jaguar F-Pace SVR. Yeah, but see, I do like the attention to detail that they put into this Ram 1500. The materials, the quality, they really look like they took their time. And of course, you do have all the different storage compartments right there, just like in all the pickup trucks in the segment. And I'll show you guys that. You do have a little second load storage compartment right there. So it goes back deep. You can really put something pretty far in there. But if I was definitely loading this up my way, one other feature I would give, of course, the panoramic glass roof to add a little bit more light into the cabin. But other than that, I really can't complain with the 1500. Do wish it did have massaging seats for the front passengers. And side seats, maybe like a lane keeping assist where it actually pull you like back into the lane. And maybe just a little bit like, do wish they did have like some ambient lighting or something at nighttime. Let me know in the description if they actually do something like that for the 1500. But so you're basically just that. Let's roll on it. Ho ho. Mind you, this thing is 5,700 pounds, 260 horsepower. I gotta tell you, it's definitely way quicker than you may expect. But you can't deny the noise of that V8. But I have to say, though, so far that the character and the acceleration is actually not that bad. It's not that bad of a trade-off if I'm really stacking it all up. How's the U-turn? It's not too bad for a vehicle that's over 230 inches long without the 6'4" bed. That thing would be crazy. It has good takeoff. Of course, you got the rear view camera mirror, which I do like. That's one of my favorite features as well. But yeah, I honestly like the Ram. It's definitely a lot more truckish than you want, like that you want in a pickup truck. And that's what I kind of like over the Ram. I mean, I say Ram, the Ford F-150. Definitely like it over the Ford F-150 as far as getting that more truckish vibe, especially like the diesel engine and everything going. I mean, feels nice. Yeah, you get that refinedness that you want when paying this much money. But yep, guys, that is going to wrap up my video as we are approaching our final destination. Definitely like this truck. Definitely like the ergonomics, the feeling, as well as the materials. And you got the Uconnect 5 display. Way more improved versus the previous generation Uconnect screens. More user-friendly. And you have plenty of features and technology. So yeah, guys, that's going to wrap up my video on the Ram 1500. So please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn notifications.